Hi, I'm film critic Jim Gordon for the Gazette, here at the very hip, cool restaurant Shambar. We'll tell you more about this place in a few minutes, but first, to movies. In her new movie, Sonja Bennett plays Ruth, a 35-year-old slacker who lives at home, has a dead-end job, and less in common with her girlfriends who are all married and having children. When she's mistaken for being pregnant herself, she carries on with that mistake in the new movie, Preggoland.
We've all decided you'd be happier if you found friends that you have more in common with.
What? Ruth, you just don't fit in anymore.
Anyone else in need of a little hair of the dog? You? No? Wow, my big sister is a loser.
I'm not a loser.
I'm pregnant.
What?
With twins, a girl and a boy.
Well, I'm joined now by Sonja Bennett, the star and screenwriter of the new movie, Preggoland. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us here at Shambar.
Yeah, it's making me feel cool, you know, just here, hip, Shambar.
I'm none of those things, but it is good to be close to a place like that.
Yeah, it's inspiring me to step up my game in life.
Well, listen, let's talk about your character, Ruth, who really does need to step up her game. I described her as like a 35-year-old slacker that really is setting new levels for underachieving. But I think when you see her in this movie, she's the smartest one of that whole group. And talk to us about how you created this character.
You know, I kind of reverse engineered her. I knew that I wanted to write a movie about a woman who fakes a pregnancy. And so I had to figure out what kind of person would do that and would be motivated to do that, because I didn't want to write a movie about a crazy person, you know, an insane, or like a Lars and the Real Girl with a, you know, guy who's dating a dummy. So I tried to create a world for her where you would buy that she would go to these lengths to have the life that she wants.
Well, and it's interesting because, in all seriousness, there is, even in this day and age, a lot of pressure put on young women that, okay, you're working and everything, but when are the children going to happen? And she is literally surrounded by her, I guess, high school friends that she's grown up with that are all having kids, and her sister who is just so determined to have a child that I could see how this comes about and ends up just getting out of control. Yeah,
I mean, I don't think this is uncommon. I do have 2 children, but I see how women, you know, once you get to a certain age in your 30s, when everyone around you just becomes consumed with having children, how it can be really lonely and really isolating. And mommyhood kind of is a giant clique, and that's what I wanted to explore.
And let's talk a bit about, you snagged a legendary actor who plays your dad, which is great, and that's James Caan. You've worked with a lot of big names like that, have been around the business a long time. Do you act kind of like a sponge around these people where you just watch them in action? I'm sure Caan had a lot of thoughts in how he would play your father.
Yes, he's smart, and he's a good storyteller, and he had a few notes for me, and I was just terrified. I remember on the first day that, like, Jimmy wants to talk to you, and I'm like going up the stairs to his trailer filled with fear, and really he just wanted to, you know, change a few lines, but he's smart and he's magnetic, and you see him and you're like, I get it. I get why you're a movie star, and an intelligent actor too.
Yeah, he just reinvents himself. He's certainly had some ups and downs, as everybody will do when you've got a 40-year career. But I really liked him in this movie. This is, I don't want to say you had him in mind when you wrote it, but it was tailor-made for him. You
know, I think he makes his roles his own. I'm going to give him credit for that. You know, he filled it up, and quite honestly, he made that role in particular better than what I wrote. And I'm really appreciative of that.
But as a screenwriter, it looks good on you too, doesn't it?
I know it does, but I know that he really filled that role up.
We're talking with Sonja Bennett here at Shambar. Let's take another look at a clip from Preggoland.
Are you pregnant?
Yep. So, was it an accident? How far along are you?
Oh yeah, about 4 months.
Really popped. I know your little secret.
Please don't tell anyone.
I need to stay pregnant for a little longer, else I'm afraid that my dad is going to die of a broken heart.
You promised me a sponge man.
Dad, that's disgusting.
There's another clip from the new movie Preggoland, starring Sonja Bennett. We're inside Shambar now talking with her. Again, congratulations on this movie. I've talked often on the air, off the air, with other friends that work in the business about how tough it is to get a Canadian movie made, but also to get it seen. You must have been conscious of that when you were writing this movie, because it does have great commercial appeal.
Yeah, absolutely. I've watched so many of my peers make beautiful, amazing films, and they don't find an audience. And I myself wrote a script before Pregoland that, you know, it didn't have commercial appeal. So I set out on this journey. I didn't want to just make a film. I wanted to make a film that people saw. That was really important to me.
And you mentioned to me before the interview, I didn't know this, but there is a foundation out there right now that will help comedic scripts get made and seen.
I think that is a new mandate. There's the Canadian Film Centre and Telefilm have a joint effort, a program called the Comedy Exchange, which Pregoland went through, and it's an amazing program, and it is specifically geared towards comedies that they think will have appeal across the border.
I've been watching your career for, I guess, 10, 12 years. You've been in some fantastic films. We should mention that the Vancouver Critics Circle Association I belong to awarded you an award a couple years back for a great movie, a really funny movie called Young People. Begins with F, ends with ing. You jump back between TV and big screen. You work in bigger movies, smaller movies. Is that all about the life of an actor? I mean, you must be happy with your success.
Well, it's funny you say that. I don't feel all that successful, which is part of the reason why I wrote Pregoland. In my 20s, it is true I worked nonstop, and when I turned 30, the parts started to dry up, and I was in grave danger of getting bitter actress-itis, which is why I took some time off and regrouped and wrote this film to be a vehicle for myself to hopefully boost the career.
And it's unfortunate that in this day and age it's still very much discriminatory toward women, as no one over 30 is allowed to act anymore and be sexy. You and a lot of other people have proven that wrong, but I admire people like yourself that do that, where they look for other things that will prolong the career, whether it be directing or writing. Is that something do you want to do more writing? Do you want to get into directing?
Well, I set out to write Pregoland for my acting career. But the beautiful thing that happened is I completely fell in love with writing in the process, and I would be completely happy to transition into being a full-time writer now. I mean, if I can, I'd love to do both, but I would be very happy just being a writer solely.
Well, listen, congratulations on your career so far. We should also say you're married to an actor, so that's an interesting existence.
A very successful actor and a very handsome man.
Stephen Lobo, is that his name?
Yeah,
Stephen Lobo in
Continuum.
Yes, thank you. Well, continued success to you. Pregoland is in theaters now, and we look for more projects from you in front and behind the screen. And thank you for joining us at Shambar today.
I'm going to enjoy my beer now.
Yes. Cheers. Let's take another look at Pregoland, and we'll be right back to tell you more about Shambar.
I make you assistant manager of the store. Take you out to dinner to celebrate.
I actually have a birthing class.
Take you to your class. We eat after.
I can't do this. I don't want you to poke the babies.
Okay.
You okay? Would you guys even like me if I wasn't gonna be a mom?
What have I done?
Ruth, I've never seen you speechless before.
I can't do this anymore. I can't be pregnant.
Hi, Officer Huxley.
You guys been behaving yourself?
No, not at all. Get up. I used to have the dirtiest dreams about your dad. I have to change my pajamas.
Stop!
There's Sonja Bennett in Pregoland. It's in theaters now, and it gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Okay, from movies to where we are. We're at the very cool, always hip Shambar. I'm with the assistant general manager, Michael Ziff. I love that last name. Let's thanks first of all for having us here today. I got to tell you, there's not a better place to have brunch in town. It's always slammed here. Is that really the big deal with this place?
The atmosphere is really something special here, right?
Yeah,
it's
for
vibrant. Sure. It's definitely not somewhere where it's not always quiet, but it's always alive. And I think a lot of people are drawn to that. They just come here, there's action, there's great food, there's great cocktails, and I think that's one of the reasons why people love it so much.
And you guys also have a patio here, which some people may not know, and some people may also not know that you did some renovations not too long ago, no?
We did. Actually, technically, they weren't renovations. We moved.
We moved.
Yeah.
I should say, sorry, yeah, right.
So we actually moved from our old location after 10 years and came here and opened up a brand new location. Everything is new. And we have our patio outside, which should be opening May long weekend.
You know what I love about this place too? I've been here in the daytime like we are right now, and I've been here at night. You guys have great mood lighting. Like, you know, you go to some places you like and it's interrogation lighting, bright. You guys really get that right, and I should say, like, cool afternoon DJ, lounge, chill music. I mean, it's a really hip place. Michael, if people want to get more information on Shambar, your website is
shambar.com.
Shambar.com. Check it out. Thank you for reading us, and thank you for watching us at the Gazette. For the Gazette, I'm Jim Gordon from Shambar.